Alright guys, so in this video I want to go through how something as simple as your logo can completely change the game for you. And I'm even going to go into a computer in this one and show you some examples of exactly what I'm talking about with a real product. I'm going to search it, go through the results and show you the difference a logo makes, comparing people that do have one, people that don't have one, and the effect that has on the customer, determining which one they buy, which is hopefully yours if you do what I'm about to tell you in this video. So if you're at all interested in what I'm going to talk about, which I definitely hope you are, I'd really appreciate it if before we got started you could just quickly give the channel a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below now or at the end or any point in the video about your thoughts, suggestions, comments, just absolutely anything, just whatever you want to say. Anything helps writing the video, really helps me. I'd really appreciate it. But without any further ado, let's get into this video. Alright guys, so it has just started raining outside, so if you can catch any of that on the audio, I do apologise, but how can your logo really change the game for you when you are trying to sell products on Amazon? And to think about this, the aim of the game here, by using Amazon FBA, the majority of us are doing private labeling, and what that is putting our logo on a product and selling it under our own brand. So when people, for very just first starters, don't actually private label their products, they're not even really doing the process as it's meant to be done. They're not even like private labeling. They're not putting a logo on a product. So by definition, they're not actually private labeling a product, which is what most of us actually do. If someone said, what do you do on Amazon? You'd say private labeling. Well, if you don't actually put your logo on the product, then you're not actually private labeling. So that's the first thing that I just wanted to get out of the way straight away, that we are actually trying here. The aim of the game is to private label a product. So if you're not putting a logo on, then you're not even private labeling in the first place. But how does this actually affect your sales and just monetary value? How does it kind of affect you? Because that's what I'm sure most of us really care about. And I'm sure anyone could bring up really big examples of, I don't know, things like Nike or just really like Apple, Microsoft, these kind of things where adding the brand name onto a product just instantly increases the value tenfold just because of their brand name. And I'm sure we can all think of brands, even just little tiny things like Heinz for beans and things like that. As soon as you put that label on those beans compared to this the Asda price or the Lidl own brand or the Sainsbury's own brand product, the price instantly goes up because of that logo. And that doesn't mean that just because you add a logo, you're instantly worth more, because you haven't built up that reputation. You don't have the same brand power as those people, but it does have an effect. And in most cases, you can actually charge more for having a brand. Even if you don't have that reputation, you don't have that brand power behind you. So I've searched a product, wooden chopping boards here, and we're just going to look through and look at the people who have strong branding compared to those that don't, and see which ones jump out to you and see which ones have more intrinsic value to you just looking at the product compared to those that have no branding at all. So first of all, the first kind of page here are the sponsored products. We have these people, well, start with these two in the middle here, and they have no branding whatsoever in their main pictures. And just to be fair, they're probably not the best pictures anyway, but there's no branding in these pictures. So straight away, even this one over here, when you look at all of them, this guy over here has tried to bundle, he's added some looks like these like chopping mats or something to his chopping board to try and increase the value of it. He isn't charging that much more, so not a bad bundle there, keeping the price low, staying competitive, not pricing himself out of the market, bundling his product, but there's no branding on it. So it looks plain, it looks cheap, it looks just boring without any logo, without any substance, without any just character behind it. So if we scroll down to the first bit of the top results here, again, this guy, he hasn't done anything to really kind of bundle his product or differentiate, but what he has done, he's zoomed in on this bit here, just his brand, just to show the quality. And already, I would say if he just took that little tiny circle out just there and just had this picture of his wooden chopping board, it would instantly decrease the value that I would intrinsically put on his product. But just because he's included his brand here and shown me that it's a branded product, for some reason that just brings more value. The same with these people here. You can see his logo kind of lasered into the product here, but even more like noticeable than that, he's actually got some branding and packaging around the product. Same with these two people here, they've got some branding at the bottom, and especially this guy, and I've talked about this in another video, about using the real estate you have of your main picture. See just the branding and the care that he's put into his main picture to make it seem like a quality set, a quality piece of product that he's offering by showing his product packaging. Whenever we shop in normal retail shops, we see the product packaging, we see exactly what we're getting, and I personally still believe that customers they like to see exactly what they're getting. So showing your packaging in your main image, I do think is quite important, so they know exactly what they're getting when they purchase the product. There's no surprises, they know exactly what they're buying, and I think people like that. So scrolling down again, we have more plain chopping boards that they just look ultimately worse than other ones. So this guy here, right next to the one with no branding at all, if you look at his main image, if he did not have this little kind of cutout label here on the front of his product, his main image would look quite similar to, I would say, these guys. The image of his chopping board isn't great. It doesn't look overly different to these other people, but by having this cutout in front, by having his branding on the product, he immediately increases the value of his product, in my eyes, from this guy compared to this guy, or this guy next to him, or even these ones up here. So this one here, Skylight, it looks extremely similar to this guy down here, but because of the branding on his product, he intrinsically increases the value of his product just by putting branding on it. So I'm sure you can see, guys, that branding is an absolute game changer to your products. And some products, I do understand, you can't put a logo and a brand on absolutely everything. Some products just don't suit it. So for example, if you might be selling I don't know, maybe a quilt. If you're just selling a quilt, something like that, not everyone wants branding etched into your quilt. I'm sure most of you have duvets at home, don't have a brand maybe etched into it. Most don't. So some products may not actually suit having a logo on them. That's 99% of products do. That 1% of products may actually just not suit having a logo on it. So a bin bag also would just not suit having a private label logo on it. It doesn't really work for that product. But if that is the case for you, then there's always things you can do to get around that. So just going back up again to this guy up here, if this was a product that he couldn't put his logo on, then he could include his product packaging in that main photo and put his branding on his product packaging to still show that it's a quality piece of product. It's still got branding, it's still got character behind it, if it doesn't go on the product directly. So if you are selling something you just don't think works with a logo, bearing in mind most products do, most products you can put a logo on. If you just got a product that just does not suit a logo, there's nothing stopping you from putting your product packaging in that main photo, making your product packaging look really good, really professional alongside your photo, or even like in the background somewhere standing behind your product. You don't want to take away from the product, and have your branding on that. That's still going to increase the value of your product by showing that there is branding present, and just overall increasing the value of your offer. So I hope you can see just from this like small example here, guys, of just searching one product, how just adding a brand logo to your product makes all the difference when searching through. So look at these guys here. This guy has absolutely no logo on his just plastic chopping board, so plastic, look quite cheap. And then this guy over here, just by this little cut here, I would say immediately just draws my eye a bit more. His picture is better anyway. Even this guy here of Cooks, again, looks a lot better with that logo there compared to absolutely no branding or logo at all. So with the majority, 99% of products, you want to have your logo on it somewhere. You want to have a strong presence of branding because it just increases the overall value of your product. It brings more intrinsic value and it brings more trust. People trust brands. People like just seeing brands behind things because it just seems safer. If you're just buying a blank product, there's no protection behind that. But with brands comes trust, comes comfort, comes protection. People like working with brands compared to just nobody. So it works exactly the same as when we're contacting suppliers. We don't normally contact them saying, "Hi, I'm Ryan, I'd like to buy your products." You say, "Hi, I'm Ryan from this company, we have this brand." You build yourself up because people like dealing with companies, they like dealing with brands, they feel more confident, you can normally get more stuff for it. And in this case, more intrinsic value, which hence means you can normally charge a higher price and make more profit. So I hope this video has helped you, and I hope it's helped you kind of visualize what you want your product to be and the kind of branding that goes into a product and why that's so important. If you're looking to sell on Amazon FBA UK and you want a product that shows you absolutely everything from A to Z, check out the AZ Academy in the first link in the description, where I give you my own personal support throughout the entire journey as well. But with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, smash the notification bell, and leave any comments, thoughts, suggestions down below. I really appreciate it. It does mean a hell of a lot to me. But with all of that said, I'll see you in the next video.